Good morning, everybody. Peter here again. And stamp collecting fun has raised its head once again. I've had a delivery of stamps this morning. I bought some. I succumbed, I'm afraid. And immediately some questions were raised by stamps that I received. So I thought I'd delve shallowly into any information that I could find about those stamps and we'll have a look. So what are we talking about today? Well, first of all, we will remove this because we're not talking about this. We are in fact talking about this stamp. In fact, we're going to be talking about one, two, buckle my shoe, probably 3 or 4 other stamps as well. So this today is regarding Channel Islands stamps. So the Isle of Sark. We'll have a look at this stamp first. Well, what do we see on it? Isle of Sark Shipping Company. There's a flag, there's a boat, there's a cancel, possibly someone's cancelled it with a pen, so it has been used. It's gone through the postal system, in other words. It's 15p. It has other writing that says stuff. The spirit of, it's, probably the name of the boat. I can't quite focus into that. But what what I thought was, why is it the Queen's head on this stamp? Why is it not on this stamp? When is a stamp not a stamp? And is this an official stamp? What's going on with this stamp? So I went on to eBay first of all to see if I could identify the stamp, to see if it is an actual stamp, and it seems to be. And I also went on to the AI and asked 1 or 2 questions about it, and I got a couple of answers. First of all, where is the Isle of Sark? Well, the Isle of Sark, also known as Sark Island, is just off the coast of Guernsey, which is one of the 2 big channel islands between England and France. Nearer the coast of France than it is to England. Is there any history around Sark having post? Yes. A British post office was established in 1858. So when stamps started to come into being, Britons all over the world could enjoy, the postal service that it gave. And anyway, it remained operating this post office. It was there to receive stamps and to receive and send post. And probably needed a boat, and definitely I would say, needed a boat to transfer those letters back and forth. Possibly to Guernsey, possibly to the mainland, maybe even to France, who knows. Anyway, time goes on, 1940, Sark, and all the other Channel Islands are invaded by the Germans, so Germany now has control of Sark. And from that moment, Sark was to use the stamps that were being produced in Guernsey. Presumably they couldn't get the stamps from Britain shipping in. Post has got to go on despite war, despite famine, despite whatever hardships. The post must carry on. So they used the stamps that were being created and issued in Guernsey. Of course, the Germans left in 1945, so Sark then, new things started to happen, let's put it like that. A company, an independent company, called the Commodore Shipping Company, which presumably was was the shipping company that transported, that was needed, that was vital, even today, to get post out there. They started to issue Sark stamps, but only locally. So I was interested in this thing, locals, locally. What does it actually mean? Well, locals do have a limited validity, if you will. They're restricted to an area. Some stamps that are produced, they serve a genuine need. Others are less needy. So, you often see stamps that are produced somewhere that they're there to exploit collectors. These stamps, locals, by the way, can be government issued or issued by an individual or even a business, which in this case it was. So in 1969, Guernsey began to have their own independent post service, which put an end to the local one on Sark. And then in 1980, the Isle of Sark Shipping Company, which we see here, which is a passenger and parcel service from Sark to Guernsey, they issued 6 stamps, of this being one of them. Now it's unclear whether they actually had whether it was a valid stamp. It is unclear whether it was actively used as a stamp, as a local. If it was, it would only have been local. So it doesn't answer the question, though. Is it a real stamp? But that's the history, and possibly the fact that it's so close to Guernsey almost swallowed it up into their own way of doing things. So we'll have a look at Guernsey now and see what else popped up in my little head. And it's this. I'll try and get rid of the glare. ER, Crown, GY, Bailiwick of Guernsey. Nice scene, nice and colourful, lovely, ER. What's missing? The Queen's Head. Well, maybe Guernsey never had the Queen's Head. Until we go to this stamp, and there we see the Queen's Head. Guernsey Bailiwick. So what have we got here? Well, the question first of all is, why is ER and the Crown on some, and on others is the Queen's Head? Well, this brown one is from 1982. And the GY one, or the ER Crown, I'm croaking a bit, is from 2001. Okay, so what have we got? What is Guernsey? What is Guernsey? Is it part of Britain? Is it part of the United Kingdom? Is it part of the British Isles? Where are we? Well, Guernsey is a British Crown dependency. It's not part of the UK. Wow, I never knew that. It's self-governing, but owes its allegiance to the British monarch. So it's like a mix of independence and connection. So it's independent and yet connected. Other British Crown dependencies overseas, they do use this symbol, which is the Crown. So I'm talking Jersey, Isle of Man, Alderney. From what little I can gather, the absence of the Queen's Head, so in this case the Queen's Head is absent, this occurs in stamps that show local culture scenes, to identify really local culture, local identity. It is unclear, still slightly unclear, but you sort of get it, don't you, that Guernsey, I haven't delved into the history of Guernsey as such, but when we were talking about Sark, Guernsey itself was part of where Sark was going. And maybe, in 1969 when Guernsey began their own independent post service, maybe that has something to do with this. Anyway, we'll put those aside and we'll have a look at, talking of Alderney, which interestingly has an ER, not the Queen's Head. So we've got here Alderney. It is an island in the Channel Islands. It's got 21 there. And what makes this stamp interesting is it is a part of a set of Womble's stamps. It was to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the creation of the Wombles. And what makes it most exciting for a lot of stamp collectors, or for some stamp collectors, is that it's got a map on it. Many collectors of stamps, they collect maps. That's interesting, isn't it? So that's a nice stamp, one of 6, I believe, and it again shows that it shows that this is not part of the United Kingdom as such, but it does owe allegiance to the monarch of the time. I wonder if this new stamp's been put out. And finally, we go to Jersey, which does have the Queen's Head on this. Jersey 22, little angel there praying, is Christmas 2000. This will be going into my Christmas collection when I finish this. It will be mounted and put in there. I've had a bag full of Channel Island stamps, which just a cursory look has given me questions, has given me the need to delve a little bit deeply into what is going on here. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know what you think about what I've said. Is it right? Is it wrong? I don't know. Just going back to Sark for a minute. So let's try not to destroy these, but let's have a look at this. Here are the two. So we've got a ship here, and here we've got, what have we got here? Crewe Harbour. Carriage paid 50p. So these stamps look as if they were indeed validly used. They were, they were a proper stamp, and yet there is no reference to Britain on these stamps. Now that's interesting, isn't it? Because the others have had at least an ER or a crown or something. This has got simply the flag of Sark. Anyway, my throat has come to an end. My sinuses are blocking up, and I will leave you with those thoughts and prayers. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye for now. Bye.